I don't care. If you want to take a GLP-1 because that is what's going to work for you, and that might ignite the fire in you to start taking better care of yourself and to start eating better and to start strength training, I love that for you. So, in the sense of if it is someone's last ditch effort, and I think, Josh, what you're saying is like you have less of a problem with it being someone's last ditch effort and more of a problem with it being the first go to.
Correct.
Which is fair. And also, if it is someone's first go to, doesn't concern me. Doesn't affect me. It wouldn't be my first go to personally. But if that's someone else's first go to and that's what they need to do to help kickstart, so to speak, their health journey, like that's one of those things, like that series that I do that's like, I don't care if you this, I don't care if you that. I don't care. I really don't, because if that's the thing that helps you obtain better health, and obviously then we could get into a different argument of like, you know, the side effects and are you getting into better health and what are the, you know, long-term side effects? That's a whole different conversation. Let's just sideline that conversation for a minute. If this is the thing that is going to allow someone to start feeling better in their skin, to start losing the weight, to start decreasing their comorbidities, great.
Here's where I poke the hole, though, and I'll let you take it back over. I don't see this jump starting all those other things. I see this as all that they're going to do. And I think if you've lived your whole life and now you're 35, 40 years old, you're more morbidly obese or very overweight, and you haven't done any of those things, and you start taking these injections and you see some progress and then you decide to stop, you're not changing anything else along the way. You haven't educated yourself. You haven't sought,
Agreed.
external resources. It's not going to happen. On top of that, where we're not seeing a ton of health benefits where they could be maximized in conjunction with the GLP-1 is you're not optimizing protein intake and they're not utilizing resistance training. So they are losing muscle and fat at very similar rates, and they're just becoming a smaller version of their unhealthy selves. And again, if you're morbidly obese, okay, you've got some benefit to just being a smaller version of that, but you're not moving the needle as much as you would think. So my pushback would be they're not doing the other things.
Again, fair. Again, also doesn't necessarily concern me. Again, also when you need a coach in the future because you came off of a GLP-1 and you gained all the weight back, I will still be here. Our team will still be here. Like, I think that's what I mean. First of all, I think this subject in and of itself is so nuanced, because you have the like people who are using them correctly and maybe it is their last ditch effort and they're not doing it for vacation vanity weight, and they are doing it because it was doctor recommended, and maybe they started as a type 2 diabetic and now they've reversed their type 2. Like, there's so many positive things about it, right? And then you also have the category of people who are misusing them, who shouldn't be prescribed them, or who are obtaining them in ways that they shouldn't necessarily be obtained. Or you have the subset of people who are using them and solely relying on them instead of lifestyle, modification and behavior modification. And that could be problematic. And you have the other people who it's changed their lives and it has motivated them now to go to the gym, and it has motivated them now to take care of themselves. Or maybe now they're on the maintenance dose, or maybe they've come off entirely because this was the kickstart to, them starting to lose weight and so on and so forth. There's so many different pockets of this, which is why I almost want to throw my hands up and just say, like, I don't care. If you want to do it, great. If you try it and it goes well for you, awesome. If you come off or while you're on it, you see negative consequences, like, that is also very much a possibility. And I hope that you do your due diligence of researching as much as you can and speaking with your physicians as much as you can about something like this, so that you know the risk and the benefits and you can weigh out those risk and benefits. You also might not know the risk or benefit ratio really until you've been on them or until you come off of them, and then you see what those effects are like. So I just kind of err toward people are adults and they need to make their own decisions when it comes to this stuff. And I see them as being really beneficial in a lot of ways. I see them also as being really problematic in a lot of other ways. I think, Josh, what you are getting at is not the drug itself. I think what you are describing is a much broader issue of a certain demographic of people that might be most gravitating toward this type of drug, and your association with how that person lives their life as a whole versus the drug as the issue.